There was a man there called James Kantor, who was one of the accused. Do you know about what happened to him? He was a lawyer. And James Kantor, his brother-in-law, was a man called Harold Wolpe. And Harold Wolpe, like James Kantor, was an attorney. They were both lawyers. James Kantor loved dancing and singing and hanging out and being a commercial lawyer and making deals with the capitalists and stuff like that. So he was that sort of lawyer. Harold Wolpe, his brother-in-law, who he took in at his firm, ran political trials and was a communist. And the state wanted to arrest him and did arrest him for the Rivonia trial. But he and another one, name escapes me now, they escaped from jail. They escaped from jail. They were helped by a warder for 50 rand. The warder let them escape. And they escaped into Botswana, that time called Bechuanaland. They escaped into Botswana. And to take revenge, to have him as a hostage, they arrested James Kantor, the brother-in-law, and kept him in solitary confinement. Now, that is a word you're going to hear in the laws that you're going to learn. That is a word that we constantly hear that happens today in the United States on a large scale, in many other repressive countries like Egypt and so on. Solitary confinement. Who can say what solitary confinement is? It's when you're kept alone in a cell and you're not allowed to see anyone else other than the police. Alone. Solitary means alone. Solitary confinement means being confined alone. So he was kept in solitary confinement like all the other detainees, but he had no political convictions and he had a family, and they kept him in the trial until almost the end of the trial, right? But not only did they do that, they tried to totally destroy his legal practice. And how did they do that? They raided his office and took every bit of client's papers, which is not allowed under the law because there's something called attorney-client privilege. When you tell your lawyer something, the lawyer is not meant to tell anyone else. They're not meant to have a record of it. So when someone goes in and seizes that, that's wrong. They can only do it under situations where lawyers have acted illegally, where lawyers have committed a crime. But there was no proof that he'd committed a crime. They just went in and took all the records and destroyed his legal practice.